Okay, guys, welcome to the new unit impressions for the Generals of Múspell. So, yeah, this is pretty much confirmed. There's not any big surprises here for you guys. Honestly, we knew what deals were coming. I have a video already talking about Helbindi's new skill and Laegjarn's new skill as well. Is also, we know what's coming basically, but I wanted to make sure I did this video now because we have confirmation of the trailer, the video, everything like that. Okay, so wait, what? My mic is trolling. One sec, guys. Hey guys, can you hear me? Is it working? Are we good? You boys saved me. Apparently, I had grown up as a man, and we didn't get the whole deep voice.
How about if I do the new unit impressions like this, guys? Do you want me to talk like this during this video instead? Do you think this is pretty good? Okay, guys, we're gonna do the new unit impressions like this. Welcome to the new unit impressions for the Generals of Múspell, okay? Guys on Twitch, feel free to say hello to the guys on YouTube, so that's in the chat below, okay? And the guys on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment to join the community and show our appreciation and love together.
Come on, that's supposed to be a serious impression video. You're gonna edit this in, aren't you? Alright, serious mode. Okay, we all know that these units have been released to the data mine. We knew it was coming. We didn't get confirmation until pretty much yesterday as of this video going live. So I wanted to make sure my impressions are still here and we can talk about these units. For those who are looking forward to my stats analysis and comparisons with other units currently in the game, feel free to look for that for the video tomorrow. If you want to know what the implications of the dual skills mean, I have a video on that. It's called Prepare Yourself for Arena. New Arena meta is coming. It was a couple days back, so make sure you go check that out if you're uncertain what I'm talking about when I talk about the Arena meta during this video, okay? So here we go.
Fire Emblem Heroes. New heroes join the battle. Doot 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 doot.
The name's Helbindi. Remember.
His name is Helbindi. Wow. Okay, he's a green infantry unit. That class is actually not super saturated, and especially not the ones that have preference weapons. So realistically, the only 3 and 4 star unit in the whole game with a preference weapon is Raven, with merges up to 10, of course, high availability. So Helbindi is kind of unique there. There are a couple, of course, that are 5-star exclusives on the other hand. So we do have our 5-star exclusives. Some examples of that would actually be Akariss on the Performing Arts banner, Revival, and yeah, I can't even think of that many because there's just not that many. I mean, I'm not talking about mages either. We're not talking about Soren or Merrick, but literally there's like a handful, right? We have like Akariss, we have Dorcas, I think, Braveike. See, there's so little. There's not that many. So Helbindi is bringing something a little bit new, at least from his movement and combination in class. People wanted this. All I see is a rugged man. Very, very rugged man. Alright, in terms of what he brings to the game though, thank you. If only he'd get demoted and he'd be actually really available. But the banner does last a month, so that's something to consider. Alright, he comes with guard. Guard is good, but it's not what we're looking for here. He comes with infantry pulse. That's also really good, and honestly the thing you would fodder him for if you didn't need the skill in the A slot. So the A slot skill is G-Dual Infantry, and again, I've talked about this in its own video, so make sure you go find that a couple days back on the channel, and you'll find everything I've talked in detail there. But the reason G-Dual Infantry will be the thing to fodder him for will definitely be to make sure that you can be competing in the arena system. You give this to units like Soren, Merrick, Hawkeye, Raven. I don't care, you can give it to Linus if you want as a GHB unit. I don't recommend that, but you know, Akariss can use it. Anyone who's an infantry unit, it's green, boom, it just opened up a whole new way of playing the game, scoring optimally and increasing your high score. And of course, this also will dynamically change the meta as you run into these units because they can officially score well. So again, I'm not going to go into detail of what you can do with the skill, but that's what it implies, and that's huge. Having infantry pulse in the permanent pool along with Dorcas is also kind of cool. So they're both green infantry units, so green's pity breakers just became even better. Now his weapon itself is crazy. It's not exactly on the level of the wave skills, which buffed 6 to one stat, but it buffs 4 to all stats to himself and to anyone adjacent to him, every odd number. I don't like the odd skills though. I think the even ones are a little bit better when you consider arena smaller maps. On the first turn you generally can't take advantage of that, but with an even skill you can. It's hard to bait turn 1 except on some of those smaller maps, maybe like the double wall map. But yeah, even skill generally is better, so it's going to be a little awkward to use that, but when it happens, it's huge. It does make you very susceptible to panic ploy though, and at least he'll be a really good support unit in arena, so he's very welcome at this time, and he'll be very unique.
Out of my way, filth.
Calling the landscape filth? Rude.
My name is that of my blade.
So, my name is that of my phone. This phone, it's called Michael. Let's personalize our own stuff, shall we? Everyone go find your own object closest to you and name it after yourself, because that's the cool thing to do.
I am Laevatein.
Okay, so Laevatein is a red infantry sword unit, and that's a really saturated pool. We've gone through this many times. You have stuff like Ira, you had Legendary Marth come out, you have Carla, Mia, Soleil, Fallen Celica, you know, the list goes on. There's a lot of good options there. However, for once, this unit is actually amazing in that red sword infantry, and that's completely decided by the fact that her weapon is ridiculous. Okay, it is a blade, so basically a weapon, a melee weapon, first of a kind, that is giving all the buffs that you can give to her, whether it's through the wave skill that she carries, or the link skill, or just tactic skills, double rally pluses. Everything will buff that sword to such high levels of attack. It also grants 3 attack as a base value, and it will be crazy. It's like Thunderhead. It just got even better because of this, and you know, even Odin is like pretty much drooling at something like this, but Odin does have that crazy special refine. Her base kit does work pretty well together. You would have to change some things to score optimally, of course, like changing out Fury for the red dual infantry skill that may come out eventually, but generally speaking, her skills are very synergistic. She alone can pretty much buff her own attack, defense, and odd speed wave. You have like 6 to all stats other than res, so if you give her like a res tactic or an even res wave, or in this case odd res wave probably, you pretty much can fully buff her sword to give her 30 extra attack, which is insane. Fury is generally recommended as well, because if you give yourself the option of enemy phase or player phase, assuming you don't go for arena scoring. This unit is amazing, and will definitely show some crazy difficulties to either beat or be really easy to use, assuming we're talking about, you know, combat and not supporting. She probably won't be the best support unit, but at least she does come with the wave skill and the link skills. That's a lot of damage.
I am Laegjarn. Laevatein is my younger sister.
Thanks for summing up the story of book 2, Laegjarn. You had nothing else to say other than who your sister was, and then your sister just basically labeled herself onto her sword. Much depth. Wow. Red flyer though is not that common, so she is in a category which is kind of unique. Good to see. She has, like, the thing that's really appealing about these 3 characters is they actually have like nice art design, I guess. But of course, as we all know, the story of Fire Emblem Heroes is kind of controversial. Red Flyer though, quite good, especially if you look at 3 and 4 star pool, which only has Sheeta and Pala, and then the other ones are all 5-star exclusive, like YouTube Olivia and Alencia, for instance. Must have missed one, NY Camilla, I think. So yeah, there's not that many. Okay, and again, she comes with good skills, quite synergistic. Right out of the box, she's already coming with 2 skills that are quite good for a support unit, and she has that red dual flying skill, so if you choose to plus 10 her, then yeah, you're going to end up having a decent skill, a decent unit right out of the gate, just giving her like double rallies and ether or gale force, and you're good to go with a decent support unit. Distant guard, this is actually going to be useful, especially if we start seeing more range units in the meta, and chill attack is great. It's actually not in the permanent pool. Previously it was with Bridal Ninian, so that's quite a welcome addition. The thing I don't like about Laegjarn though is that her weapon is not consistent. It's a good weapon, don't get me wrong, but it's not consistent because it relies on enemy buffs. So you can't really plan around that. It's not like you can make a team around Laevatein and you can make a team around Helbindi. But with Laegjarn, you pretty much hope that your enemy team has like tactic skills or buffed up rally skills and such. So it's gonna be less consistent, and especially when it's a one-on-one last unit remaining, that unit generally doesn't have any buffs on them unless they're using wave skills. So yeah, it's not as consistent, and you know, honestly, something like Karamatsu for a score hit would probably make her even more supportive. As a combat unit, she's amazing, and I'm not going to argue with that for sure, especially once you change around some of the skills here. She'll make a great arena assault check, and you can bring her in, or even for Tempest Trials, Grand Hero Battles, Abyssals, like she'll be a super good unit for that. And as we look at the stats tomorrow, in tomorrow's video, you'll see that I'm actually quite impressed with a lot of these units. So yeah. Great unit, great addition. And of course the red dual flying is pretty much what Helbindi skill does, but for the red flying units. Okay, so to summarize this banner, it lasts a month, okay guys? So I've said this thousands of times, but these units are in the permanent pool. They're not a necessity for you to pull day one. You don't have to jump in there and go like, yes, I need this now. There are some exceptions to this rule, and I'll go over them in a second. But since we have a long time span of this banner, you can give yourself a little bit of patience and decide, you know, why you need those skills, what sort of gameplay changes might occur in the weeks to come. Don't forget that 3.0 might be on the horizon, or if not 3.0, maybe some intermission maps with some system updates, game mechanics updates. We don't know what to expect. Maybe something like a skill refine, skill shop. A lot of people said that, you know, like it could happen. So, you know, from now to a month, that gives you a lot of time for whether you should make that decision or not. As for like the units themselves, it is 2 reds and a green on a 3-person focus banner. That's pretty good for getting any of them, honestly. If you pull green, green is the easiest to summon a focus unit on. So if you're targeting green dual skills, you'll probably pick them up like almost on average every 100 orbs. As for red, you'll pick up both Laegjarn and Laevatein pretty commonly actually, even though red is hard to get focus units on. Like if you're targeting specifically Laevatein or you're targeting Laegjarn specifically, you'll probably spend about 150 or so, 140 or so orbs. It's hard to get the specific unit, but you'll pick up a Laevatein on the way there. Remember that color sharing does not matter here. Okay, you'll pick up both units summoning red on your path to get 140 average, about spending about 140 average orbs. So again, especially if you want to see what I mean by these probabilities, check out tomorrow's video. I'll go into more depth there. It's also my Discord, so go there. Finally, final thoughts. Whether these units will get demoted or not, I generally don't think so. They all have 5 skills, and if you looked at all the units that have been demoted in the past, they have had 4 skills. This is one consistent pattern that's happened. They've never really demoted a unit with 5 skills before. So that pretty much concludes my thoughts on these units. In brief, tomorrow I'll be looking at their stats. Feel free to look forward to that. If you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thanks guys. Peace.